Well, this is probably one of the most interesting conferences that we're going to hear about today because it concerns everybody in the state of New Jersey because everybody has a television set and everybody turns it on. And I don't know, I guess the percentage of people having cable we'll have to get into later on. But Senator Dorio, what is the gist of what's happening with this new look?
Well, this session today will be about the new franchise law, which was passed by the legislature, sponsored by myself and Assemblyman Caraballo, which allows for statewide franchises for cable television. And Verizon is very actively involved in pushing forward its application for those statewide franchises.
Now, this franchise is going to allow what to happen?
Well, this franchise will allow competition to occur. One of the problems we've had in the state up to now is that the cable television providers don't poach on each other's territories. They basically don't compete with each other, so cable prices continuously spiral up. There's no competition. This will create competition.
Competition is good. All right, and here's the gentleman, Dennis, the president, the man who is very involved with this from Verizon. How far effective will this be in terms of towns and municipalities?
Well, with a new law, we're able to file a system-wide application across many towns versus doing it town by town by town. And we just filed our initial application, and it included 316 towns across the state. Actually, more than 70% of the state's population, which we're seeking authority to provide cable TV service. So many of these towns, probably 100, 150 or so, we're able to turn on the service immediately as soon as the Board of Public Utilities gives us the blessing to do so. And then the others are on our construction program where we're working, every month we do 40, 50,000 homes.
When you're saying you're doing 40, 50,000 homes, there's another part to this that it really is very good for all the people that live in these towns, and that is you're also putting a fiber optics in, which is going to allow what?
Well, it's basically a brand new overlay network, and the senator pointed out that cable has not poached on each other's territory. What we're doing is building a network that's poaching on all the cable companies' territories. It's a tremendous network, has a ton of capacity, hundreds of channels, great high definition, uncompressed high definition, a lot of programming, a lot of video on demand. I think now we're up to about 3,600 titles of video on demand, of which about 2,500 are free. So in addition to your 200 channels, you get a huge library of stuff to look at. So we're coming to the marketplace with a very good product, and it'll be priced competitively, and consumers are going to have a lot more choice and options.
Now, this really, I'm talking about what's out there now. This fiber network that you're putting in is also going to have the DSL lines as well as the high-speed internet lines. So that's going to allow for more communications.
And you could tie it together with telephone. So you would be able to tie your telephone service with your DSL, internet, and your cable services.
Exactly right. And the interesting part is, now that becomes competitive.
That becomes competitive, and obviously the cable companies have gone into telephone service, so it is appropriate that this become a totally competitive environment.
What's the next step?
Well, the next step is getting our application out from the Board of Public Utilities so we can turn on the switch and build this network even faster.
All right. Now, the interesting part is I think that's coming up very shortly, but if everything goes in place, we're not talking years away. We're talking what?
Well, again, about 150 towns, somewhere in that neighborhood. As soon as the board approves it, we'll be able to turn them on. And then, every month we'll turn on more and more towns.
2 months from now, 3 months from now, 5?
Well, by this time next year, we'll probably be in, probably 250 towns across the state.
That's fast enough.
That's fast enough. Thank you.